Hello everyone, we are now the day after T100 London, and what an event it was. T100 really know how to put an event, the crowds were amazing, and yeah, we're going to do a run through of everything that we got up to from Thursday when I arrived until today.
What are you doing, Kyle?
Just being fast. Do I look fast?
You look like a stormtrooper. That's a very big helmet you've got, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Would you dismount your bike and let us have a 360 view of your
Yeah.
very... It looks quite good from this angle.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know, it looks kind of sick. Because I got big shoulders, so I'm hoping that it kind of like covers my shoulders, you know?
Do your stormtrooper impression.
They just get shot. They're the worst soldiers in history.
That's what soldiers are for now.
No, they don't put up any fights in any of the movies.
They
That's
do.
all they do. And they're running around with their...
Well, I reckon if there was a gang of triathletes in a fight, they would also not be that great.
Listen, they've got guns, and the Jedis have, you know, essentially futuristic swords.
I'm not really sure where this bit of video is going.
And if you have a gun and you can shoot from long distance, why is like the Jedi's not all dead, you know?
Because they got the Force, man.
That's true.
So yeah, I flew in on Thursday, had a super smooth travel, straight into the race hotel, did a little jog, and then yeah, basically had dinner, went to bed. On Friday, we had my general 2 day before the race training day, so I actually had a really big turbo session. It was hour 45, 3 by 15 minutes at race pace, and then an 8-minute above.
Had a good sleep, had a good breakfast with the crew, and now here we are on the bike.
How are you feeling 2 days out?
12 minutes into my ride. Yeah, I feel pretty good so far. But in 8 minutes time, I start my first effort, and I'll tell you after that. But nah, I feel pretty good. Like, sometimes my heart rate's pretty high, like in race week, just freshness and whatnot. But yeah, so far I'm feeling, yeah, pretty nice.
Then we had a 30-minute treadmill run off the bike with a 12-minute at race pace, and then the rest of the time just easy jogging. And yeah, then I finished on the treadmill, had a bit of lunch, and then went straight to the swim familiarization. And to be honest with you, I was pretty apprehensive about jumping into this water. I mean, you see the state of the Thames, it's kind of similar to what's going on in Paris right now, but this water here that you can see behind me is absolutely beautiful. Like, I was blown away actually. It was super warm, 21 degrees, nice clear-ish water for a central city race, and yeah, it was really nice to swim actually. So I did a lap of the course, did a few dive practices, did a few starts, did a few exits, and yeah, to be honest with you, I felt quite good.
Badass.
Fred, stop.
Looking extra swole, I noticed, walking along the other athletes. Like in a good way, like, I was like, okay.
That's funny because Jack Kelly said this morning that I'm looking really skinny, and you said I'm looking really small.
Skinny and swole, great.
Awesome. Yeah, the swim was nice. It's warmer than I expected. The water's nicer than I expected. It should be a good course. 2 laps of 1K, kind of like it's like 200-300 meters in the first buoy. Big Australian exit in the middle. Happy days.
And we had briefing, then we had dinner, and just basically shut it down and sort of went to bed. Then yeah, Saturday morning rolled around, and yeah, still feeling good, and watched a lot of the Olympics in the morning just to give myself some swimming tips and some motivation, and had my general before the day training day. So I went for a jog in the morning, did some stride outs, and then yeah, went over to the Olympic pool, just did my standard pre-race swim, 100 at race pace, 2 100s a bit harder, and then 450s a bit harder. and Fred Funk came and joined me with that, so that was super fun. Ordered some dinner, ordered a few big bowls of rice, smashed that down, and then yeah, obviously watched sort of a bit of the women's race and saw what went on that race and saw Ash Gentle dominate. Had a really good sleep, which is always awesome to sleep the night before the race, and yeah, felt really motivated and really up for the day, and just kind of spent the morning chilling, watching the Olympics. Kira came home after successfully smashing her triathlon in the morning. It's her first one, so yeah, I was super proud of her for doing that. And then it was my turn, and London surprised me with the weather. Like, you know, it was high 20s. When it's hot in London, it's super muggy, super sticky. So yeah, been doing a lot of heat prep. Just living in Girona where it's mid-30s all the time is perfect heat prep. So yeah, I was really happy. Warm-up went pretty smoothly. I did have a headache though. It was super weird. I don't know why. Like, I had this raging headache that was just thumping in my head, but I think it's because I didn't have coffee in the morning, and yeah, the coffee addiction was just going real hard. But yeah, even in the warm-up I had a headache, and I didn't feel super springy in the warm-up, but yeah, like I knew that once the gun went off and the adrenaline got behind me, I'd be fine. And
from New Zealand, Kyle Smith.
Wanna be it, wanna prove it.
as soon as I dove in, I had a great start. I really practiced that start the days before the race just to make sure that I could get off the line fast and avoid the scrummage of the inside of the swim. I also had the luxury of starting on the outside, and so yeah, got away and was first around the first buoy. Once Aaron came past, I sort of shut it down and tried to conserve as much energy as possible. For the first lap, Alistair and Rico passed me in the Australian exit, and so I jumped straight onto their feet, and yeah, it was a pretty relaxed second lap, and just yeah, tried to get ready for the bike as much as I could. The bike was the thing that I was most nervous about. Course here is super technical, super bumpy, typical London roads and inner city roads with speed bumps. The women were losing bottles left, right and centre, so yeah, I was kind of nervous about getting mechanical, which we saw so many people, but my Canyon mechanic Jens did an amazing job. He ordered a chain catcher for me. He made sure I had bottles that were more firm, so thanks to Cat Matthews. Luckily in the race nothing went wrong. However, I must address the drafting, because to be honest with you, it was a f***ing joke. Like, yeah, I mean, we're professional athletes, we're trying to put on a show, and it's just this. Obviously we didn't have race ranger, which was a shame, but at the end of the day it's the technical official's duty to give out penalties, and knowing my luck and knowing my history of bad luck, I just didn't want to chance anything. I knew I was on really good form. I know this series is up for the win, and I don't want to throw away a stupid race or a stupid point for getting a 3-minute penalty. I was sitting in the group, I was feeling pretty comfortable, but I just wanted to make sure that I was sort of scanning everyone, and I tried to go to the front on the first lap. There was a motorbike that brought the group back up, and then yeah, like the group kind of started coming past me, and I didn't want to expend a bunch of energy trying to get back to the front, and so I was sort of sitting 30 meters behind, 25 meters behind, and athletes were slotting in front of me, and which then puts me in like an awkward position where I'm like kind of getting further behind the race and further behind the race, and then yeah, like to be honest with you, it was like pretty disappointing. I understand it's kind of the rules of the jungle, and when the referees aren't giving out penalties when like this is happening, it just gives athletes confidence just to push those boundaries a little bit more, and I don't think it's acceptable, to be honest with you, because yeah, I knew that my running was going really well. I was feeling comfortable on the bike. I didn't have to push out the boundaries. Also, Sam could sneak off the front because yeah, it was just people were slotting in, and the group was just so compact. To be honest with you, I should have never underestimated Sam Laidlow. He's the Ironman World Champion for a reason, and obviously he ran super well, but he hasn't been running super well this season. I thought, you know, oh, he's done an Ironman 2 weeks ago. He was in the race hotel saying that he has a calf strain. I think he played us, to be honest with you. Yeah, I let him go on the bike. I was feeling super comfortable, and I was keeping my eyes on Magnus, Rico, Yuri, you know, the people in my group that I thought were the people who I had to outrun. So yeah, when I came off the bike, I was sort of 90 seconds down on Sam, and I was pretty confident that I could run that down. Came out the gates pretty aggressively, probably a bit too aggressive and got a bit too excited. I think I ran the first 3K in sub 9 minutes. I took about 45 seconds out of Sam in the first lap, and I was doing the mental math. I was like, okay, if I just settle down now, if I run a pace that I can secure, then the gap I'll catch him at halfway, and then, you know, just try and keep extending. Came down a little bit more, and then it was only coming down, you know, 10 seconds per lap, and yeah, when it got to about 20 seconds, then, you know, I think Sam just did what he had to do to keep me at bay, and yeah, there was no willing my muscles on anymore, and so I just sort of, yeah, had to unfortunately accept defeat, and yeah, it was super frustrating. And obviously when I came down the finish line, I was just absolutely cooked. Visibly disappointed, but I'm actually incredibly stoked with how the race went. To get second place is, you know, frustrating, but yeah, if you told me the day before the race, then, you know, I'd go and execute a race I'd be super proud of. I got everything I could out of myself. I pushed as hard as I could, and now it's just a couple of tactical things. It was so close in San Francisco to getting the win, and it was so close here to getting the win. And I just have to go home and keep building on this form that I have, and yeah, be back for Ibiza and try and secure another win, which would be incredible in the series. And then after Ibiza, then we can decide where we're going to go from there. Too little, too late, I guess. Yeah, but we live to fight another day, another second place. I think that might put me into the lead in the series, potentially. So, you know, silver lining. Yeah. Overall, I'm super happy with the race. Yeah, my physical performance is in a great shape. It's a great opportunity to be here. Number 2 in the world, number 2 in the series. It's pretty crazy. It definitely wasn't on my bingo card back in January when I was in New Zealand and sort of like fighting for a T100 wildcard for Singapore. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a crazy year so far, and I just want to keep this momentum rolling throughout the season. So yeah, thank you for being here. See you in the next video, and please like and subscribe. Bye.